All right, welcome all here to a warm October night in Ann Arbor. We are moments away from the kickoff of Michigan versus Detroit Mercy here in the closing month of Michigan's men's soccer season, as Hail to the Victors is piped in over the PA here. I'm Daniel Thompson, joined alongside by Charlie Brigham. We wish you a happy Leif Erikson Day.
Hinga-dinga-durgan to you, Daniel.
Hinga-dinga-durgan, that is right. That's, of course, the Leif Erikson Day being a holiday popularized by SpongeBob. It kind of had its heyday in the 1920s. It's an interesting history if you want to Google it, Leif Erikson Day. But really just celebrated by SpongeBob nowadays. But October 9th, that's always Leif Erikson Day. Joshua Tenzer is also here for us in the call. He'll join us in the second half. Players are taking the field, so we'll be underway in a moment here. Michigan is 5-2-3, and they have not lost since the month of August. Dropped their first two games of the season, and then they have been money since, only losing in overtime. Detroit Mercy not having as strong of a start to the season. Only 3-6-1 right now, but nonetheless, both teams are certainly viable opponents. It should be a good matchup here, as Michigan is currently second in the Big Ten standings. Of course, this is a non-conference game.
Yeah, Michigan has looked very hot offensively to start the year. Graduate student Nebojsa Popovich is currently leading the Big Ten in goals and points. 6 goals and 15 points for Popovich so far.
All right, the kickoff is underway. Detroit Mercy passes it back, and we are underway. Mercy with the ball, still on their half, looking to try to create some space. Passed along the far sideline now, and Mercy moving the ball up. They have crossed midfield. And it's a wide pass across the pitch, and Mercy is caught up with it. The forward clears it in, and it's rejected by a Michigan defender. Currently fighting over getting the ball out of the area. Mercy has lost possession, and that ball's rolling out of bounds. We'll get the call. It is staying with Mercy. Ball last came off Michigan.
Michigan defenders swarming the ball there, looking to keep Mercy from making a Ori scoring opportunity.
Mercy plays it in. That ball is close to going off the end line. It is played harmlessly, though, back toward Michigan's keeper, Andrew Verdi, who leads the Big Ten in goals allowed per game.
Verdi tosses the ball over to number 2, Carter Payne for Michigan. Payne moving up the sidelines, making it look a quick move. That ball's kicked out of bounds, though.
And that ball will go to Mercy, as good defense forces the ball to be played out. Mercy getting aggressive here, but they've lost possession. Michigan takes over.
Deep throw in.
Yeah, well, it certainly was. Mercy has been aggressive to start this one. Michigan has not had too much time of possession at all, but this is their first real chance as they cross the midline.
Michigan with the ball on the far side, looking to make something happen here. Ball swung back over to Carter Payne. Payne looking for his options.
And Payne does find Jack Hallahan, the senior out of Redditch, England, who brings the ball into the 18-yard box. A good pass, sets up a nice
with
attempt.
A shot.
Oh, but the keeper comes out and plays it well, and fearlessly is going to bring up a Michigan corner kick now, as it looks like Devin Mendez.
Mendez tripped up there on his way to the goal. Quick scoring opportunity for Michigan. Couldn't capitalize, however, they look to further the opportunity here on the corner kick.
Yep, Mendez laid it all out on the line for his team. Sacrificed his body to knock the ball out of bounds in what was a forward on goalie scoring opportunity for the Wolverines. In comes the corner kick, played in and headed away harmlessly by Mercy. That ball will be recovered, though, by Michigan. Played up into the air, into the 18-yard box, and right now Broche is trying to corral it. He does have the ball now inside the 18-yard box. Finds it, plays it back now. Michigan regrouping.
Mercy playing tight defense here, not allowing Michigan any wiggle room at all.
Absolutely, as they reject a Michigan shot, goes back toward the Michigan defenders. And the second one now.
Another rejection by Mercy.
Yet very tight defense right now. Michigan cannot find any penetration through the Mercy back line, and that ball ultimately winds up in the hands of Devin Mendez.
Mendez, Mercy's goalkeeper, looking to dish the ball out. Everybody settling back towards Michigan end of the field after that quick, exciting exchange there on that end.
Yep, it's been a busy first 3 minutes. Ball spending a lot of time on both 18-yard box as they play a ping pong or a paddle ball of it for the ball. Ultimately winds up with Mercy after a far punt from the keeper.
Both teams playing tight physical defense, not allowing anybody to go anywhere with the ball so far.
Absolutely. Very few holes to be exploited on either defense. Ball is played a bit too long, though, and goes out of the end line. It will be a Michigan goal kick coming up.
Verity coming out of the box there to make sure nothing goes wrong.
Yep, ultimately a pretty tight game so far through the first 3.5 minutes. Of course, there's a lot of soccer ahead of us, but so far both teams looking pretty aggressive on defense, not giving really any good scoring opportunities yet. As the ball is played up to the far sideline now, Michigan taking a conservative approach here with getting the ball up the field. They've been slow moving it on to the Mercy side of the half, both prior possessions.
Once they are on the Mercy's half, they've been ultra aggressive, but moving the ball up, I will have to agree with you there, Daniel. They have been cautious, moving up, taking their time.
And now Michigan
pushing the ball up the far sideline.
Yep, just tightrope walking it down the sideline.
We got a whistle. That's going to be a penalty on Detroit Mercy's number 6, Colin Kavanaugh.
Yep, first foul of the game, so we'll see what Michigan can do here on their first set piece or second set piece, I suppose. The earlier corner kick ended up returning empty-handed. So Michigan with 40 minutes still to play here in the first half.
Mark Ybarra looking to kick the ball back in for Michigan.
Plays it into the 18-yard box, but that one is readily headed away and goes right back to Ybarra, who now passes it back toward the midline.
Reagan with the ball. Reagan swinging over to Carter Payne. Carter Payne up the sideline, back over to Jack Hallahan. Hallahan with a one-on-one here, trying to make something happen.
Hallahan crosses it into the 6-yard box, but that's immediately rejected back at the near sideline by the Mercy defense. So
number 11, Ryan Holleran.
Yep,
with the deflection there.
Didn't take any time to think about it, just surrendered the ball right back. And Hallahan is not able to break through a double team. However, the ball deflects off a Michigan player and returns.
We're going to get a whistle there. Yep. Looks like it's going to be Detroit Mercy ball. It's going to be another goal kick for Mercy.
Yep, I believe they're going to rule that officially a handball, so Mercy will get the free kick from way back near their near corner.
David Mendez looking to kick the ball out. Deep booming kick.
Yep, plays it long. That's
well
been
over
his strategy.
half field.
Ultimately, Mercy does come up with the ball now on Michigan's side. Aaron Pass, though, is going to turn the ball over to Michigan. Playing it forward quickly
number
now.
12, Austin Swike getting that ball out of Michigan territory.
His pass is a bit too long, though, and misses teammate Derek Brochi. So it will be Mercy ball as Mendez punts it downfield yet again. A skirmish for the ball breaks out, and it goes out off of
It's going to be
Michigan leg, it looks like.
Mercy ball coming in here.
Yep, ball went off Michigan last. At least that's how the officials saw it. So will be a Mercy ball right in front of us here on the near sideline. And about
Detroit Mercy defenseman Ryan Holleran looking for the throw in here.
Holleran throws into a tightly guarded teammate with a nice quick pass. Mercy, though, has nowhere to go with this ball. Falls all the way back to Holleran, whose pass is not corralled by the teammate. Michigan now has the ball around midfield.
Kevin Buka for Michigan looking to push the ball up the sideline. Takes his time, though, brings the ball back. Michigan taking their time.
Yeah, Buka tried to force the issue, however, saw there wasn't much room to go with it. Takes his time and passes it back toward one of the center backs, and now Michigan regrouping and looking for a chance to break this deadlock here. 7 minutes into the first half, still 0-all for Michigan and Detroit Mercy.
No real shots on goal yet besides that one very early by Michigan. Still, though, both teams playing pretty aggressively on the offensive end, at least as soon as they get over midfield. Michigan still pushing the ball up slowly, inch by inch.
Yep, certainly taking their time as they now push it back up toward the far end line. Buka had it now, passes it back to one of the center backs. So Michigan very glacially moving this ball down the field.
Running a bit of a triangle offense here.
And that's the first pass to get intercepted by Mercy, immediately booted out of bounds, though.
That ball's booted out of the stadium.
Yeah, maybe not the same as doing it in Yankee Stadium, but that ball does fly over the far sideline, over the Ultras, Michigan's student section.
25, Jackson Reagan with the quick pass up the sideline, shot on goal. Is deflected by a Mercy defender. Mendez scoops that one right up.
Yep, Mendez wisely scoops that one. Otherwise, it would have gone out instead of a Michigan corner. So Michigan has at least generated a couple of set pieces on the Mercy side of the pitch, but so far, nothing to show for it as Mendez boots it into the Michigan side.
Yeah, Mendez with a deep punt there.
Comes off a Mercy head, forcing Michigan and Mercy to chase it, and they're going to say it went off Michigan last. Kevin Buka looks like he got the last foot on that ball, so it will be a throw in here just across the midline. That's a high ball that goes right into the that goes right off the head of a Michigan defender, and Michigan will recoup the ball. Carter Payne now with another chance to start a possession here for the Wolverines.
Payne.
And right now the defenders just taking their time, passing it around. Mercy's forwards have been aggressive in trying to steal that ball back, or at least cause some havoc and disrupt the passes of the Michigan defenders.
Absolutely. Michigan pushing the ball up now. However, it's taken right away by Detroit Mercy as soon as they got something going.
Yet Mercy's aggression pays off as they force a turnover, and the ball rolls out along the far sideline off Michigan, though, so Mercy getting another throw in.
Justin Schumann for Mercy looking to throw the ball in deep over midfield. Another jump ball.
And an errant clear by Michigan sets it up for Mercy. Now they got a free man in
With
the
a
18-yard box. Fires on goal, rejected, but the ball goes right back to the forward.
Another shot on goal.
Deflected right in front of the goal, and that's going to be a Michigan goal kick.
Andrew Verdi, 2 big saves right there, keeping Detroit Mercy scoreless in this first half.
There you have it. That was definitely the best scoring chance we've seen so far tonight. As Mercy had one clear path shot at the goal, ultimately Verdi makes a great save, deflects the ball back into trouble. His defenders got back in time, though, to make it a bit more difficult for the strikers, and ultimately the ball goes off a shot goes off the ankle of the Detroit Mercy forward and across to the end line for a Michigan goal kick.
Some shared words there between Verdi and his defenders. He seemed a little upset with the amount of communication there that almost led to that goal. However, we are still scoreless here. 35 minutes left to play in this first half. Detroit Mercy versus your Michigan Wolverines.
After some infighting for the ball, it ultimately winds up with Michigan after the goal kick on their own side of the pitch. Ball is played across the field now
Carter
to
Payne.
Payne. Yep, Carter Payne.
Up to Hallahan. Hallahan pushing up.
The Mercy defender slips, but it was away from the ball, so not going to be too much of a problem as Hallahan plays the ball to teammate Carlos Tellez out of Florida.
Mercy pushing back a little bit on defense with a shot on goal there. Header just wide for number 17, Derek Broche for Michigan.
A nice cross from Kevin Buca, but Broche is unable to quite knock that one right toward the goal. Sails about a foot or two wide of the far right post and ultimately brings up a Mercy goal kick. So Michigan getting their first shot in quite some time now, not since the first 3 minutes of the game, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Mendez with another goal kick, telling his other players to push up a little bit. Is Broche coming back up, playing almost a one-man defense here.
And they play it back to Mendez, who's clear, goes right to the foot of a Michigan center fielder.
Justin Murray for Detroit Mercy there, booting the ball way downfield, resetting all the way to the other end.
And ultimately, it does end up in Verdi's possession, so he plays it forward to one of his center backs. And
Jackson Reagan with the ball now, swinging it over to number 5 for Michigan. Carter Payne with the ball now on the far sideline. Back over.
The 1-2 combo doesn't quite work, deflected by Mercy's Kyle Bandick. However, the ball does wind up out of bounds, and it will be a Michigan throw-in. Carter Payne taking control here. Errant throw-in, though, winds up in a Mercy's possession as Mercy tries to play it downfield. Ball is taken away, though, by Abdu Samaik. And Michigan...
This is Andrew Verdi getting the ball out of there.
Yep, Samaik plays it back to Verdi, and now they've got it going forward. Hallahan almost got away with that one. Ultimately, though, the ball is cleared by Mercy's.
Yep. Halloran clears that ball out of bounds. This is going to be another Carter Payne throw-in.
Carter Payne gets it forward now back to Hallahan. Hallahan plays it back toward...
Up to Popovich. Popovich, Michigan's leading goal scorer, the Big Ten's leading goal scorer, in fact.
However, Mercy is able to push this one harmlessly out of bounds, and it will be a Michigan throw-in now, not very far from the end line at all. Carter Payne coming up forward to handle this one. So Michigan's going to put a lot of guys into the 18-yard box here and try to break the deadlock. 32.5 still to go in the first half. 0-0.
Michigan looking to get the ball to their playmakers. Quick short throw into Hallahan.
Mercy wants
Hallahan
a
with
handball.
a shot on goal.
Yep, Hallahan had a gap. Fires to the near corner ultimately, though.
From outside of the box there. Deep shot. However, nice diving save by Devin Mendez.
Yep, Mendez was all over that one. So Michigan's third shot of the night is not fruitful either, but starting to leave their mark here as Michigan takes over possession at midfield again. Hallahan trying to play it forward.
Detroit Mercy defender falls, opening up a path for Michigan. This is Broche in the corner by himself. Swings it back up to number 6, Tellez. Taya is swinging it to the middle. Hallahan.
Almost was able to possess it. However, Mercy's able to clear it. Ball winds up, though, back in Michigan with Marky Barra with the ball now. The hometown junior out of Ann Arbor plays the ball back and now winds up with Hallahan.
Jackson Reagan swings it to the middle to Hallahan. Hallahan with a shot.
Oh, and that one's just over the crossbar. Hallahan's been liking those looks he's seen, though, both outside the 18-yard box. Still, he's willing to take those shots.
2 deep shots in a row for Hallahan, looking to make something happen. Both have been great scoring opportunities, honestly. Just a little too high, a little too far outside in the last one.
Yep, no deficit of confidence, though, for Hallahan, the senior out of England, as Mendez plays it forward for Mercy. And the ball ultimately winds up back with Michigan around the midline.
Popovich kicks it back to Hallahan. Hallahan swings it to the middle.
And now Michigan is still fighting for it. Mercy comes up with the ball. Home fans wanted a foul called against Mercy.
Little shove there. Referee says incidental contact.
So as the ball rolls out of bounds, it will be a Michigan throw-in. Carter Payne again taking the throw-in duties. It seems like anything that goes out of the near sideline ends up being thrown in by Carter Payne.
Payne weighing his options.
Threw it in a bit too far away from the original location, so they're going to do that one again. Surveying fires downfield, ultimately intercepted though. And it will be Michigan ball after both sides try to clear it toward the opposing goal.
Swike for Michigan, swinging it up the far sideline. Over Detroit Mercy, kicks it away, right into the hands of Popovich. Popovich with a shot on goal, too wide to the right though. And
I believe that was deflected. No, they're going to roll a goal kick. It looked to me like a Mercy defender deflected that shot that certainly looked like it changed paths after he fired it.
It definitely looked like that from up here. Our referee singles no interference. This is going to be another goal kick for Devin Mendez.
So ultimately Michigan gets another shot on. 5 shots now on the day, so becoming the aggressors in this one as of right now.
Absolutely, Michigan with 5 shots to Detroit Mercy's 2. However, Detroit Mercy with a fast break opportunity.
Dimitri Piakos' shot is deflected by a Michigan defender. However, now Michigan retakes possession, unable to clear it though, and Mercy winds up back with it. Piakos still with the ball, in triple teamed right now, trying to find a teammate.
Michigan defenders surrounding him. That ball goes out of bounds, going to stay with Detroit Mercy.
I think it's very fair to say, as of right now, Michigan has looked a lot better passing the ball and finding teammates who are open.
Absolutely. Mercy's main offensive attack has mostly came off of fast breaks and Michigan slip-ups. Honestly, Michigan looking more in control, more settled on the offensive end.
Ryan Halloran is going to throw it in now for Mercy. He's got 4 teammates standing right on the 6-yard line.
Quick line drive throw-in into the box. However, that one is deflected away by Michigan. That ball booted out of bounds by Carter Payne. This is going to be another Detroit Mercy throw-in.
It was a risky clear as a Michigan center back jumped up and kind of kicked that ball with his foot over his head to try to clear it. Mercy was upset about it, wanted a call, didn't get one though. The officials have certainly been letting them play so far tonight, as now Mercy is going to have another throw-in, this time about 40 yards away from the end line.
Another quick throw-in. Payne kicks that ball into the stands.
And that'll be a souvenir. Some kids are fighting for it right now, and I think that an official is going to ask for that ball back, unfortunately.
Ruining the fun.
So no fans going to walk home with a souvenir today, it looks like, as the ball is going to be put back.
Get that kid some popcorn.
Yeah, so you got to do something to compensate for that. The kid looks bummed out, but Mercy does play the ball back in after Payne's clearance.
Halloran with another throw-in.
And another one ricochets off
up
Payne.
Into the stands. That ball's going to bounce back into play.
Yeah, plays a Plinko off the bleachers and finally lands right in Halloran's hands, Bit confusing. 2 number 11s in this game with very similar last names.
Yep, the fans getting some action in this game. More than just cheering.
Yeah, there's about like 20 ball boys here right now as Carter Payne has fired 2 balls into the stands. Halloran's throw-in is almost...
Great defensive save there by Andrew Verdi, Michigan's goalkeeper.
Yep, finds a teammate who's able to pop the ball right in front of Verdi, and that ball was nearly headed in. Verdi picks it off, though, right out of the air before any chance of deflecting the ball in is attempted. So Michigan now going to try to go on the offensive now, carries the ball all the way down the far sideline, and they play
Swinging
it back.
It back to the middle, deep shot. That ball's going to go wide.
And it pays off. Mendez should not have chased that ball. It went way wide with no chance of going in. Mendez wanted to pick it out of the air, though. Maybe get quick in
Mendez
counter-strike for Mercy.
Looked a little nervous with the Michigan offensive player coming down that side. Maybe he wanted to take away that quick header in. However, he catches the ball and quickly slips and falls out of bounds. It's going to be a corner kick for Michigan's Hallahan.
Plays it in, and some struggle for the ball. And then ultimately comes back to Hallahan just wide of the box.
Hallahan tries to center again. We have a whistle.
Looks like an offside call would be my guess. Couldn't exactly tell what occurred in the area. It might have been offside, might have been some pushing on the within the box. I think they're going to call that offside officially, but Hallahan did a good job setting up that corner kick by being close to Mendez and, as you mentioned, forcing him to play that ball that was going to go out of bounds either way.
Yeah, absolutely. However, as quickly as it happened, that Michigan scoring opportunity turns into another goal kick for Devin Mendez.
Mendez kicks it onto the Michigan half. And that ball's headed away by Michigan, so now they're going to go back on the offensive.
Michigan
slow it down just a bit.
Ball swung over to Hallahan. Hallahan looking for Popovich. However, that ball is intercepted, but quickly taken back away by Carter Payne.
And Michigan ultimately retreats and plays it back toward the center back. Play it wide now.
One-on-one opportunity. Looking to make a man miss. Makes his defender stumble. However, this ball swung back across the field. Michigan taking their time.
Yep, after a couple of possessions of being very quick with the ball, playing it downfield in a hurry, Michigan is slowing it down just a bit now.
That ball kicked deep into the corner.
A bit too
by
deep.
Reagan. Looking for Hallahan. However, that ball is going to go out of bounds. A little too far. Hallahan could not control it there.
Nope, there was no way for him to stay in bounds and control that without making a very acrobatic move. Mercy will take over. Still trailing in shots 5-2, but ultimately the game's still tied with 25 minutes to go in the first half as we're about halfway through this opening half. Mercy, after the throw-in, is able to move the ball downfield, maintain possession. They don't have numbers, but they do have the ball, and they turn it over. Errant pass and miscommunication results in the ball rolling out of bounds, and Carter Payne will throw it in.
Yeah, Detroit Mercy's Colin Kavanaugh looking to make something happen there. However, Michigan's defense looked too tough, too hot to handle.
As the throw-in is intercepted by Mercy, bounces off a couple of legs, and ultimately will be another throw. And Mercy went to the ball thinking it was theirs, but yeah, Kyle Van Dyke is going to have to leave empty-handed. Thought it was his ball. It will be another Carter Payne throw-in. I haven't been keeping track, and I might have lost count if I was, but he's up to about 7 or 8 throw-ins at this point.
He might have as many throw-ins as Mendez does goal kicks at this point.
Very possible, as his throw-in ultimately winds up going off of a Mercy foot, and now he'll do the same thing about 20 yards further down the field.
Payne weighing his options. Quick, short little throw-in right to Jackson Reagan. However, swings across the field.
And it's going to be played up to the far side now. One-on-one chance, and he's waiting, hesitating, plays it back to teammate Carlos Tellez.
Quick shot fake, however, that pass intercepted, but quickly kicked right out of bounds by Colin Kavanaugh for Detroit Mercy. It's going to be another Michigan throw-in here.
Yep, this time on the far sideline, so no Carter Payne on this one. Played in toward the corner now. Michigan trying to get an edge, plays it back toward the 18-yard box. Possessed, but ultimately lost by Michigan, and now Mercy with it. Trying to counter here quickly. They're being aggressive and lose it. Michigan takes over after a good poke away by Michigan's Austin Swike.
Yeah, Mercy with that quick interception, looking to push the ball up on a fast break. However, Michigan's defense swarms quickly, takes the ball back over. Still Michigan ball in Detroit Mercy territory.
So now Michigan plays it, just crosses over the midline and retreats back to their own side as they reorganize. Kevin Buka now has the ball around midfield, searching, and now plays to the far sideline. Swike now plays it back toward one of his defenders, who clears it all the way across the field looking for Hallahan. Hallahan taps it off his foot, has possession, and has
Carter Payne running down the sideline. However, Hallahan does not look for him. Instead, shoots for the middle.
And ultimately, the ball does end up back with Carter Payne after a bit trouble of clearing it by Mercy, who plays it a bit too far, and Michigan cannot retain possession.
Carlos Tellez coming in hot. However, the referee's going to call a foul on Tellez. Looks like it's going to be Detroit Mercy ball coming back out. Another goal kick, looks like, for Devin Mendez.
Yeah, Payne's pass to Tellez was not quite on exactly where Tejas is looking for it, ultimately loses possession and commits a foul trying to regain it. So it will be another free kick here for Mendez rather. And that ball is ricocheted off the head of Michigan defender.
Ball still in the air.
Finally touches ground and falls out of bounds after ricocheting off the head of a Mercy player.
Ball goes out of bounds on the near sideline. You know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. Another Carter Payne throw-in for Michigan.
Absolutely, as Payne getting pretty used to this by now.
Payne looking for Popovich. Popovich hasn't gotten much action this game. Detroit Mercy seems to have him marked. Quick ball up the sideline. That's going to be an offsides call, though, however. Detroit Mercy looking for that fast break opportunity. It looked like a one-on-one scoring opportunity.
But Jake Reitzloff, it was a bit too good to be true for him as he was caught cherry-picking just behind the last line of Michigan defenders and gets called for offside. So Michigan now will retain possession. They play it to the far sideline and not much doing there. Play it back, though. They do find Tejas about 20 yards away from the goal.
Tejas swings over to Hallahan. Hallahan looking to make something happen.
And he was getting ready to fire. Ultimately, that ball was swiped away by a Mercy defender and goes across to the end line for a Michigan corner kick now.
Hallahan taking the ball, going over to that corner, looking to make something happen. Hallahan will be the one to deliver the corner kick. Michigan offensive players starting to pack this 18-yard box. Deep corner kick across. However, a little too far.
Yep, Hallahan played it in just too deep. Misses a teammate by about a half foot. However, Michigan tries to play it back forward into the box. That ball's too long. Whistle blown. It's going to go against Michigan, and Mercy will retain possession now and have a free kick. Yet another one from Mendez. So Michigan still can't quite break through that last line of Mercy defense.
Mendez here, lining up, weighing his options. Detroit Mercy doesn't look too urgent here, slowly walking away down the field.
Yep, officials haven't given him the go-ahead just yet. Now Mendez is cleared to fire this one. Headed by a Michigan defender, looks like Austin Swike. Got his head on it, and it ultimately winds up with Kevin Buca, who is now blazing.
Pushing up the sideline, however, swings it back to number 6, Carlos Tejas. Tejas to the far sideline, looking for Hallahan. Hallahan with a one-on-one, quick pass up to Carter Payne. Carter Payne, ball slid and taken out by a Detroit Mercy defender. That's number 8, Dimitri Pliakos.
However, that ball goes off the bottom of his foot as he slides in and rejects the ball away from Carter Payne. Sets up a corner kick, though, so will be Hallahan yet again. Has had several opportunities, hasn't connected yet.
Hallahan over towards the goal. Ooh, that ball's headed out, though. It's going to be Michigan ball still. Another corner kick coming. It looked promising, looked good. However, Detroit Mercy able to head that ball out of there. Keeps this one on the ground, quickly shot back to him.
And a bit of a skirmish for the ball. Michigan fans wanted a handball called against Mercy just outside the 18-yard box, but ultimately it doesn't matter as Michigan covers up the clear anyway and now gets the ball in toward Hallahan, who tries to cross it in. Ball goes off of the Mercy defender, and Hallahan quickly plays it in.
Hallahan quick throw into Ibarra, swung back over to Carter Payne, number 2 for Michigan. This ball kicked over to number 5, Abdus Samake.
Ultimately, Michigan slows it down and is going to be a bit more cautious as they bring this ball forward. Get it wide to Carter Payne, who now passes it forward to Hallahan, who has tried to get through one man, ultimately gives up and plays it back toward Payne.
Hallahan has seemed like the mainstream of offense for Michigan so far, Hallahan and Carter Payne.
Yeah, the ball's really gravitated toward the right side of the field. Almost feels like they're playing this game on a tilted pitch.
Nabosa Popovich, Michigan's leading Michigan and the Big Ten's leading goal scorer and leader in points, hasn't seen much action so far.
Not at all, as the ball's really focused around Payne and Hallahan as Michigan plays it in toward the end line on it. Throw in. Payne heads it forward toward Tejas, who it's a bit too long for Tejas to grab.
Little hesitation there. Ball's tried to be kicked deep out. Michigan still in control of the ball, though.
Ultimately, Mercy winds up with it after a couple of headers, and they try to play it forward. Ball's back on Michigan's side of the field. A bad header from a Michigan defender ultimately doesn't do it any damage as a Mercy striker overran the ball, and Michigan winds up back with the ball. Buca tries to force the issue, ultimately plays it back toward Tejas. Tejas searching.
Tejas over to the far side to Hallahan. Hallahan with one-on-one here. pushing up, being aggressive, putting the moves on. Shot towards the middle, or pass rather. That ball's headed out back towards Carter Payne. 16 minutes left to play here in the first half. Hallahan with another one-on-one. Makes a man fall, showing off the fancy footwork.
Bad clearance from Mercy, though. Ball winds up back with Michigan as they're trying to establish it. A little poke pass into the 18-yard box is cleared by Mercy.
This is Carter Payne. Payne swinging it over to Tellez. Tellez over to Hallahan. Hallahan with a head full of steam, being real aggressive here. Swings it back over to Tellez. Tellez with a shot on goal. The ball's deflected way up into the air by a Mercy defender.
And goes out of bounds off Mendez, so it'll be a Michigan corner kick. I don't know what Mendez was thinking there trying to come out. I suppose he was worried that Tellez might collect that ball if he didn't clear it, but
Mendez sort of jumped onto the back of a Michigan defender there. Fans seemed very upset about that one. Some boos from the crowd.
Yeah, it was a dangerous play and gave Michigan a corner kick.
Ball high sweeping. Oh, however, that header goes just wide from Abdou Samake. Samake head in his hands there, looking a little frustrated with himself not being able to convert. Now we have some subs coming in.
It will be 29 Ryan Pearson and 23 Mohamed Miri, both Michigan natives coming in here for Mercy. Mercy's a very locally built team. Almost every player from Michigan and a couple of Ohios, and Matthew Andres is from Tecumseh, Ontario, but very locally built team right here.
Mendez with another goal kick, another deep one. This one doesn't make it quite past midfield. That ball's going to be kicked out of bounds, however deflected by Michigan's number 12, Austin Swike. It's going to be another Detroit Mercy throw-in on that far sideline.
Far sideline throw-in from Mercy, ricochets off a defender back toward the man who threw it in, and ultimately still not cleared. Ball stays in the air for a while. Michigan heads it forward. Buka tries to corral it, but is outbodied by a Mercy midfielder, and it's going to be another Mercy throw-in.
Buka, as fast as he is, not the biggest man on the turf.
Certainly not.
Getting pushed around a little bit there, however, he's fighting hard. Another Detroit Mercy throw-in here. Little hesitation. It's the actual throw-in. Deep lofting. Able to be taken away by Michigan's Tellez.
Yeah, great move by Tellez to keep the ball from going out of the back line and resulting in a corner kick.
They have a whistle there. It's going to be a penalty, looks like, on Detroit Mercy.
So Mercy commits the foul a bit away from the ball. Going to be a Michigan free kick way toward just ahead of their own 18-yard box.
Ball passed up to Buka. Buka back to Swike. Swike over to Jackson Reagan. Ball still on Michigan's defensive half. But however, that ball is brought up to Carter Payne. Payne, a little miscommunication there, looking for where Hallahan has been all game. However, Hallahan is not home. That ball is going to go right in the hands of Detroit Mercy.
After some confusion in the midfield, ultimately Michigan, the ball comes off of the Mercy foot and goes way down the sideline. It will be a Carter Payne throw-in yet again near his own 18-yard box. Payne used to throwing it a bit closer toward the opposing goal so far today. Backed up near his own end line. Throws into some trouble and it goes off Mercy's Trevor Dion. So it will be another Payne throw-in about 20 yards closer to the opposing goal. We now have a Michigan substitution, Christian
Pulselli coming in for Nabosa Popovich so far.
So Michigan and the Big Ten's leading goal scorer is going to take a break for now, as Carter Payne is able to clear this one toward the midline, and after coming off a Mercy head, that ball's still up for grabs. Michigan takes it as Tellez is the first one to it, plays it back now to Abdou Samake, the senior out of Montreal, Quebec.
Jackson Reagan with the ball now. Swings it back over to Samake, up to Hallahan. Hallahan up to Carter Payne. Up to number 7, Derek Brochet.
However, turns it over, and it's going to be Mercy ball. They push it down the field. That one, will it stay in bounds? No, it's not. The striker cannot get there for Mercy, and it will be another Carter Payne throw-in. Forgive me if this sounds like a broken record, but the ball is really just stuck around this near sideline today and giving Carter Payne a good arm workout as his inbound pass gets worked down the field, and now
Ball still up in the air,
Yep.
and up in the air after a few headers for a long time. Some physical defense going on right here on the near sideline. However, Michigan takes control of the ball, quickly passes it over to the defense, or to Detroit Mercy. But Carter Payne makes a nice play. Takes the ball back for Michigan, boots it way down the field. Nah, that's number 3 right there for Detroit Mercy, Justin Murray. Sorry on that one. Kicks the ball right out of bounds. Trying to avoid any unwanted Michigan offensive action right there. This is going to be another Carter Payne throw in deep in Detroit Mercy territory on this near sideline.
Carter Payne pretty comfortable with this spot of the field. He's had to do several throw-ins from here so far. His throw-in is intercepted, though, and Mercy will keep possession as they play it down the sideline. Easily taken away, though, here by Michigan's Jackson Reagan. Played forward, and now Hallahan with the ball. Gives it away, though, on a miscommunication. And there looks like they're going to get Carter Payne with a small foul here, shoved the Mercy player in the back, so it will be a Mercy free kick.
Yeah, some physical defense on both sides. Referees have seemed to be letting the boys play here so far. However, that one, he couldn't let slide.
Yep, certainly they've swallowed their whistles to a degree here. Not too many calls, which has been nice for the flow of the game, but it will be a Mercy free kick here from just a foot behind the midline.
Justin Murray with the deep free kick. Way down, however, that ball's going to be scooped right up by Andrew Verdi, Michigan's goalkeeper. 10 minutes left to play here in this first half.
That ball from Murray was never really a threat. Way too much air under that one, so Verdi easily picked it out of the air and earned another Michigan possession. Michigan taking their time here.
This is Jackson Reagan being patient with the ball. That ball's passed up to Christian Bolselli, the new substitution for Michigan. Ball swung over to the near side to Carter Payne. Carter Payne with some room to work, looking for somebody. Pass up to Bolselli. Bolselli looking close, keeps the ball in bounds. However, that ball is booted right back out by Detroit Mercy.
What an effort, though, to keep that ball in bounds. If he had connected with the teammate, that would have been Michigan's best scoring chance of the day, and still results in Michigan keeping possession here for a throw-in on the...
Yeah, Hallahan up to Bolselli. Bolselli with a quick pass up, looking for Buka. Buka looking to take a shot.
Plays it back toward Hallahan, who finds Payne, whose pass is just a bit too behind his man and results in a turnover. Mercy with the ball now. They don't have numbers, but they're going to try to capitalize on it. Ultimately, play it back now.
Yeah, they're gonna pump the brakes there on that fast break. Detroit Mercy offensive player goes down hard. However, some physical play there. Detroit Mercy player seems upset as he rolls over top of Michigan's Buka. Buka's still down on the field. Some physical play going on here. Getting a little rough, though. Referees might need to take actions into their own hands.
Yet they let one go just about 20 seconds before Buka got rolled over. My first reaction was that should have been a foul, but perhaps they thought it was some unintentional collision and resulting in a Mercy player hitting the floor. Didn't call it. They swallowed their whistles for that one. Now Michigan is going to have a free kick about 30 yards away from the goal, just around the halfway point between sidelines.
Yep, that ball's kept right on the ground. However, Michigan's number 6, Carlos Tellez, with a quick shot. However, diving save by Devin Mendez, keeping the ball away from the middle there. 8 minutes left to play here in the first half. That ball goes out of bounds. A few players from both teams on the ground after some physicality right there. It's going to be another throw in here. Looking like it's going to be Michigan ball.
Austin Swyke went to the ground chasing that ball. He will throw it in now, but he was on the ground for a moment, just collecting himself.
Swyke looked a little shaken up there on that play. A little hitching his giddy up, getting up there. Quick throw in on the ground. This ball passed up to Bolselli. Bolselli with the one-on-one.
Very tightly defended. That ball rolls out of bounds, but off a Mercy defender who is...
A few hand checks there in the corner.
Certainly, that was very, very tight coverage from the Mercy defender. Will result, though, in a Michigan throw-in just a few yards in front of the end line. Good chance to throw it into the 18-yard box.
However, that ball's headed right out by Justin Murray. That ball is thrown in right near the front of the net. Another whistle blown. Going to be a foul on Michigan there. Troy Mercy looking to take another free kick.
It will be Mendez kicking this one, coming way up, but it's not really too many strikers are playing the ball forward. Michigan does have numbers here as the ball comes back down to the ground, and Michigan will take over. I'm surprised Mendez did play it that deep given how few of his attackers went forward for it. Penalty against Michigan, though, as they get called for the foul right at midfield, so it will be a Mercy ball. They played on the ground low and try to get moving forward here. They still aren't really pushing too many players up, though. They're playing very conservatively, parking that bus as they pass is a bit too wide.
Yeah, absolutely.
Buka tries to take control of it, though, and it will be a goal kick for Michigan as Buka was able to defend that ball away from a would-be
Buka sort of
Mercy
boxing his defender out there.
Yeah, just kind of got his body in the way of the ball and the Mercy striker, allowing it to roll out of bounds harmlessly and setting up a Michigan goal kick.
Andrew Verdi here.
Just 6 minutes to go in the half. Both teams scoreless, but Michigan was 6 shots to Mercy's 2, and it looks like Mercy is pretty willing right now to play this one, to play for a tie at halftime. They are not really pushing anyone forward.
Verdi taking his time, allowing his offensive players to get back onto Detroit Mercy's half of the field. Here he is with his goal kick, deep booming kick, well over midfield. The ball is headed by Detroit Mercy even farther back. Over there's going to be a whistle. It's going to be an offsides call.
So going right back to Mendez, who took a free kick from this exact spot just moments ago. This time plays it a bit shorter, just across midfield. Finds teammate Ryan Holleran, who plays it back right toward midfield. An errant pass toward Holleran. It goes out of bounds, and it will be another Carter Payne throw-in. Not before some substitutions, though. Looks like it'll be number 18 for Detroit Mercy, Jason Blackwell coming in.
And number 14, Harry Pithers coming in for your Michigan Wolverines.
Derek Broche came off the pitch as Pithers substituted in for him. Michigan now playing the ball along the far sideline, taking their time, stuck in midfield right now as they try to play it in toward Hallahan, who looks like he's switched over to the far left side as that ball goes out of bounds. And it looks like teammate Harry Pithers, who just came in, is going to be playing more toward the near sideline for the time being. Ball went out of bounds off Michigan as the officials determined. So 4.5 to play here. Mercy with a throw-in that goes over the midline, but ultimately a bit too much air under it, and Michigan will take over as he out-threw his entire team.
Ball swung over to Carter Payne on this near sideline. Payne running up with the defender trailing right behind him. Tries to kick the ball up, however, seems to be Detroit Mercy's MO. That ball's kicked right out of bounds. Going to be another Carter Payne throw-in.
Carter Payne plays it forward, this time going
looking
off
for
of
Pulselli.
teammate's chest.
Number 14, the new substitution, Harry Pithers getting some action. However, another Carter Payne throw-in coming here. Pulselli back to Payne. Payne centering towards the middle. That ball's kicked on the ground. Looking for maybe a cheap shot there. That ball's kicked way up in the air, though. Number 25, Jackson Reagan for Michigan to cover. Buka with the defender on his back.
Bad pass from Mercy's intercepted. Buka's had to deal with that a lot so far. Defenders just trying to lean over him and try to use their size to take the ball. But Buka does a good enough job causing havoc, forces a turnover.
Jackson Reagan with a quick ball up the field. Ooh, a little contact there. Number 16, Christian Pulselli for Michigan pushes the Detroit Mercy defender over. That's going to be a foul called on Michigan. Now they're going to be another goal kick for Devin Mendez.
Yep, with just 3 minutes to go here in the first half of the action, it does seem like Mercy's decision to park the bus here has been paying off. Michigan not able to get through that last line of defense from Mercy really at all so far today.
Yep, even though Michigan does have 6 shots on goal, most of those 6 came real early in this first half.
And far away from the net as well.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 of those came back-to-back from Michigan's Hallahan. However, shot on goal here, or an attempted shot, rather, by Detroit Mercy.
Yeah, will go down as their first shot since very early in this one where they had back-to-back shots off of a ricochet, but that one quickly deflected by a Michigan midfielder. Mercy ended up corralling that ball way back on their own side of the pitch, and Buka just got pushed over there. The refs are going to have to stand in to defend him. A lot of players are trying to use their size as an advantage against him, getting a bit too physical when they have the advantage, and he gets flattened onto the ground there. He's up and fine, though, and has earned Michigan a free kick now from just a few yards in front of the far sideline, and maybe we'll call it 25 away from the net.
Yeah, absolutely. Kevin Buka playing real tough soccer here, not letting these other opponents bully him. He's been a huge force for Michigan so far. That free kick deflected back out by a Detroit Mercy player, however, was kept in. A little miscommunication there. High lofting kick towards the goal. That bounces up. Number 5 for Michigan, Abdu Sabuke.
Yep, if Sabuke was a bit quicker to getting that one or just a bit taller, he might have been able to head that one in. That was a bit of a confusing read right there for both Sabuka and Mendez, the keeper. Ultimately, though, Mendez, it goes off Sabuka, and Mendez will have a goal kick here. Boosts it downfield. Sabuka does get his head on it this time. However, Mercy responds with another header, and the ball lands right in front of a Mercy striker who cannot maintain possession, and Sabuka passes it back toward a center back, who in turn gives it back to Verdi, who will now try to get the last Michigan attack of the half going. 42 seconds to go in this half.
You have time winding down here. Michigan looking to make a last-second push to score here. That ball's kicked to the near side. Looking for Carter Payne, however, he's going to let that ball go. Harry Pithers pushing up with the ball on the sideline now. Pithers looking for a window, has a window, looking to push up. Detroit Mercy's defenders have been pretty dispersed here. Michigan has a few lanes. Buka with the ball on the far sideline. Up to Callahan, who has since switched sides since Pithers' substitution. Less than 10 seconds here. Crowd and the announcer counting down.
No one's going to be able to touch this ball, though, right before it ends. That'll end the half scoreless, though, as Michigan certainly looked like the team in control for most of it. Don't have the official time of possession stats, but I'd have to say Michigan probably had that for a good 80% of the time, and it would had it down on the Mercy side of the pitch at least a good 3/4 of the time as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going scoreless into halftime on this cool Leif Erikson day here at Michigan Stadium. Hinga-dinga-durkin to you, Daniel.
Temperatures have dropped here on Leif Erikson Day, feeling a bit more Nordic, fittingly. It was pretty nice while the sun was still up, but temperatures dipping. We'll see if that affects the players at all. Right now, though, Michigan's players, I think they're staying warm. They're moving around a lot, clearing a lot of ground, as Mercy stays a bit more laid back and parked on their own side of the field. We'll see if maybe that warmth has anything to do with it in the second half. That'll probably take us to the halftime here. We'll see you again in 15 minutes when these teams get back underway. I've been Daniel Thompson alongside Charlie Brigham. We thank you for listening and look forward to the second half of this tie game between Michigan and Detroit Mercy. All right, welcome back to the second half. We're about to get underway here. I'm Daniel Thompson, joined alongside Joshua Tenzer, as Michigan has just kicked off now. Going to start a second half where they hope to break the deadlock. Mercy played it very conservatively in the first half. Right now, they're still doing so, have a lot of defenders committed to that back line, as Michigan right now, so far, early in this half, haven't been too aggressive with it, but unable to penetrate it. As they have their first real scoring chance here, play it wide to the far corner. A near crossing opportunity. He was just a bit ahead of the head of his teammate, and who could not put it in for the goal. Nearly had struck goal there. Ultimately will be a throw in here for Mercy.
Something to look out for this half is Jack Hallahan taking those long shots. That's how he's gotten his 5 assists on the season. So that's something to look out for. Maybe he can finally break through with one of those. Detroit Mercy is trying to figure out who will take the toss in. It looks like it's going to be Kyle Bandick, who gets the ball right back from one of his teammates, running up the field with it, passes it to Kavanaugh, who sends it up the field into the feet of Jackson Reagan, who passes it to Andrew Verity, who lobs it. The ball's sent up into the air to Tellez, who passes to Harry Pithers. Back to Tellez now, into the 18-yard box, crossed it, and then Detroit is able to clear it out.
Almost had his man Hallahan, but a Detroit defender got there in time and cleared it. That would have been a deadly look there for Michigan had Hallahan been able to put the ball.
It looks like Nebojsa Popovich is back in the game, so he'll be looking for something.
Yep, you have those unlimited substitutions in college. You can use that to keep legs fresh. We'll see if maybe the Big Ten goal leader is able to make a real impact here in the second half on some fresh legs.
Yep, absolutely. Harry Pithers now with the ball, sending up into the air, across the field for Jack Hallahan. But it looks like Bandick is able to get to it first for Detroit Mercy, and he sends that out of bounds on the Michigan side of the pitch.
Yep, even when Mercy took over the ball there, they only had 2 strikers committed to the Michigan half of the pitch. And they're just not going to do much offensively if they continue to play with so many men back. And that's the game they want to play here. They are probably the weaker team, so that's a fair strategy for them. Although right now they're not posing any threat to score.
It looks like the only way that they're going to score is if they have a fast break and not get called for offsides.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, Swike is on the near side, tries to clear it straight into the legs of Colin Kavanaugh for Detroit Mercy, and that goes back past Andrew Verity, who will get to kick the ball as far as he can.
Or maybe just play it to the far sideline and find a nice, easy connection with the teammate.
That too, it goes over to Tellez, who passes it past all defenders to Christian Pacelli, who just has one to beat, and he can't as Jack Halloran kicks the ball out of bounds. It is now a corner kick for Michigan and will be taken by Mark Ibarra, who has Michigan and the Big Ten's lead with assists, 6 on the season so far.
I believe this is his first corner kick of the game. So far, Michigan's corners have not been wonderfully placed, either coming too short or too long frequently, so we'll see if he can maybe add on to that lead.
Jack Hallahan's looked like he'd had some trouble with those. It goes straight into the box, and it's nabbed out of the air by the Detroit Mercy goalkeeper, Devin Mendez.
Well, that one, 99 out of 100 times, is going to not result in a goal when you put it right in front of the keeper like that. If you're going to play it so close to the goal, the ball has to get there a lot quicker and try to catch the keeper off guard. That one isn't going to do too much damage.
Mendez rolls around the ground, and it is out of bounds off of a deflection from a Michigan defender. Yep. So now Halloran for Detroit Mercy gets the throw-in, I would say about 10 yards away from his own goal line on the far side.
Yep, that ball is going to spend a lot of this half near the Mercy goal as they finally get the ball forward, though.
Mercy gets it past the halfway to number 12, Kyle Bandick. And it is intercepted by Michigan. Hallahan has a foot on the ball, an errant pass, but it's recovered by Mark Ibarra. Sorry, my bad, Nebojsa Popovich.
Popovich's pass gets deflected off a Mercy defender, and it will be a Michigan throw-in right along the midline.
Swike passes it back past the half line to Jackson Reagan, who sends it all the way across the field to the far line with what looks to be Carter Payne, who takes a shot, and it's deflected out by Detroit Mercy, who clears the ball and now is passed back to Andrew Verdi. We'll see what he does with it. He passes off to Austin Swike on the near sideline, who passes it to Jack Hallahan. Back to Swike. Reagan in the back, gathering themselves. Abdu Samaki passes to Carter Payne. They're playing on the far sideline now, looking to get anything going, trying to break that tight wall of 5 Detroit Mercy defenders.
It's going to be a heavy task to get through this very committed wall that Mercy has set up. Always at least 5 men back, right, straddling the 18-yard line.
A collision between Kevin Van Dyke for Detroit Mercy and Jack Hallahan for Michigan. Hallahan is the one who gets the foul called on him. And it looks like it'll be Justin Murray. Nope, he walks away from the ball. Devin Mendez is going to be coming out of the box to take this free kick for Detroit Mercy.
This is about the only time Mercy doesn't have defenders committed to that back line when they are doing free kicks by Mendez. That's really their only time they even show their teeth at all offensively.
If anyone has been tuning into this game, instead of baseball, the Cardinals have completely dominated the Braves and are going to play whoever wins tonight's game. And also, easy fast to everyone who fasted for Yom Kippur. So there are 2 holidays along with Leif Erikson Day.
Yeah, that, of course, a big one, too. Leif Erikson Day being recognized on all over October 9th, but maybe not as passionately as Yom Kippur is by those who celebrate.
Yeah. Back to the action here. Detroit Mercy clears the ball past the half line, but Mark Ibarra gets a foot on it, and it's back to Michigan's ball. Jack Hallahan on the near sideline. A pass goes past 2 Detroit Mercy defenders to Christian Pulselli, but Detroit Mercy is able to maintain it anyways. Mark Ibarra is about 3/4 of the way down the field with the ball, passing to the far sideline. Harry Pithers, who takes a long pass into the box. Detroit Mercy is able to clear it no problem by sending it out of bounds on the near sideline, about 10 yards from the halfway line. Austin Swike will take the throw-in. Back beyond the half to Jackson Reagan, who sends it to the center circle with Abdu Samaki, and then out to Harry Pithers on the far sideline. They're playing across the field as opposed to down the field currently. Back to Austin Swike on the near sideline. Still on the near sideline. Mark Ibarra sends it to the center. No one from Michigan is there, and Detroit Mercy is able to maintain control and send it to the near sideline. Jackson Reagan takes it away from Jake Reitzloff of Detroit Mercy. Passes it back to Abdu Samaki. And now Carter Payne on the far sideline, approaching the midline. Sends it right back to Samaki. Reagan looking for options, not finding anything in a sea of white jerseys. He tries to break through. It's intercepted by Pliakos, who is tripped up on the play, and then stolen by Mark Ibarra, who is tripped up on the play right afterwards.
Mercy's not going to be happy about that. Their man goes to the ground, no whistle called. Finally, though, Michigan gets tripped up, and the refs do blow the whistle. Judgment call, ultimately, it goes in Michigan's favor.
I think the real difference there was that Mark Ibarra was able to get his foot on the ball, whereas Pliakos just tripped him up.
Michigan plays it forward, however, goes right into the teeth of that Mercy defense, and it's going to be a Mercy possession here. Let's see what they can do with it.
Jake Reitzloff, the midfielder, number 13 for Detroit Mercy, seems to be everywhere.
Yeah, sure does. He has covered a lot of ground as Mercy has asked him to, and is keeping them in this game. Even though they have almost no possession, they have been very stout on defense, have surrendered very few good looks to Michigan, who is conservatively just knocking the ball around the backfield right now, looking for a gap in this Mercy defense.
He appears to be the only senior on the field for Detroit Mercy right now. So he is certainly showing his experience. Austin Swyke passes to Jack Hallahan on the near sideline, who sends it far into the box. It is punched away by Devin Mendez, and Detroit Mercy sends that out of bounds for a corner kick.
So Mercy's been very unwilling to surrender any opportunities to the Wolverines, but that's really the one consistent way Michigan has put up good scoring chances, at least via set pieces. By playing the ball up toward Mendez, you can force him to make mistakes or at least not corral the ball, knock the ball out of bounds, and force a Michigan corner kick. So smart play there by Hallahan. Can't get the goal, but does set up a deadly set piece here. Let's see if Michigan cashes in on what might be their 10th or so corner kick. It's been quite a few.
It's number 8. Mark Ibarra sends this one to a similar place to where he did before, and it is now Detroit Mercy's ball because of a foul?
Yeah,
I would like to say.
Definitely the way the players reacted. Someone must have known they did something, but I couldn't quite tell what the call was. Looked to me like there was just tip standard, elbowing for jockeying for position to try to get under that ball, but ultimately, call goes against Michigan. It will be a Mendez free kick.
The refs may be trying to take control back of this game after what has gotten a little out of hand. Van Dyke passes to Dion for Detroit Mercy. It is sent to the far sideline, and the ball has entered Michigan's 18-yard box. Goes right back to Colin Kavanaugh of Detroit Mercy. Sends it to Reitzloff. Back to Kavanaugh. And Kyle Bandick gets a foot on it, sending it out of bounds. And there's a throw-in by Austin Swyke right to Detroit Mercy.
Mercy still looking to build off of really their longest possession of the half. They will get a free kick, it looks like, as Michigan.
Mark Ibarra tripped up Alex Ushaj.
So Mercy, gets their first trip to the 18-yard box of the half. Come up empty-handed. We'll see if they can do any better this time around here with this possession as they line up to get this free kick underway about exactly down the middle of the field and 35 yards, you might call it, from the goal.
Michigan has a 2-player wall. Christian Pacelli and Jack Hallahan sails over both of those men's heads. And Jackson Reagan able to clear it out. A shot from Jake Reitzloff sails wide, so now Andrew Verdi will get a goal kick. We have a substitution on the field.
Will go down as number 4 shot on the day for Mercy, and that's really the second one that hasn't been deflected. Their first shot was a clear shot on goal, deflected by the keeper, then 2 in between that got deflected by other players in the field. That one, they get a clean one off, just a bit too high.
Detroit Mercy sends in Max Becker for Dimitri Pliakos.
Michigan playing it down the field. They have a chance to go chase that ball. It's going to be a collision. Mendez holds on to it. He makes a smart play to not be carrying that ball outside the 18-yard box. His body left it, but he was able to let go of the ball as needed and keep his hands inside the 18-yard box.
If Harry Pithers were able to break through on that, that would certainly look like a Michigan goal.
Absolutely. Mendez played it aggressively, and it paid off.
On Detroit's substitution, they traded in a forward for a midfielder, so they might be taking an even more conservative approach if that's possible.
Yeah, well, they are 31 minutes away from at least getting a draw out of this one. They will go to extra time, but they can get that tie on the record board.
Nebojsa Popovich tries to send into the box. Detroit Mercy clears it as Reitzloff. Is there a whistle? Yes. Reitzloff is tripped up on the play by Jackson Reagan. Sorry, it's the other way around. Jackson Reagan got tripped up by Reitzloff as Michigan maintains possession.
Ball comes back to Payne now as Michigan tries to set up a play here.
Mark Ibarra sends it to inside the box, and it rolls off of the foot of Christian Pacelli on the far side, so it'll be a goal kick for Devin Mendez.
Pithers tried to collect that one, but it was far too ahead of him, and he could not get there in time before the ball rolled across the end line, resulting in another empty Michigan possession. They've got 30 minutes still to look for the one. It looks like that'll be all they need, as Mercy is not threatening to score at all, and as you mentioned, just made a substitution to become even more defensive-minded in this one.
I agree. If Michigan is able to score a goal, that'll be the goal. The ball comes off the goal kick to Jack Hallahan on the near side, who passes to Nebojsa Popovich, who is pushed out of the way by Van Hook, a Detroit Mercy defender, who passes the ball back into the feet of Jack Hallahan, trying to send it into the box. It is cleared away by Kyle Bandick, who looks visibly frustrated with his team's play, if the velocity he kicked the ball out had anything to say about it.
Yep, Van Dyck has been one of the few players who's really been all over the pitch here for Mercy. Right now, the way they've been playing, they're committing a few guys to certain areas, and they're holding stout in those areas, but not doing much damage anywhere else.
I was mistaken. It's a corner kick taken by Mark Ibarra. Christian Pacelli gets a head on it, but it looks to be cleared away by Detroit Mercy, and now there's a throw-in by who else but Carter Payne.
Of course, it's the man to do it now, playing on the far sideline. Gets it in already, wasting no time on that one.
I strongly recommend he skips arm day at the gym tomorrow. I don't think he'll need it.
Not at all, as Michigan on that last corner kick got their first well-placed corner kick there.
I
Ball
agree.
spent a lot of time loose on the ground, but a Mercy foot was the first to find it and clear it out of the area, setting up a Michigan possession around the midline.
While discussing the corner kick, Carter Payne took another throw-in.
Of course, not even necessarily needs to be said right now.
Nope.
You can assume until proven otherwise.
Exactly. And it's sent out of bounds by number 10, Max Becker,
And
for Detroit Mercy.
Anyone want to guess who's throwing it in right now?
Christian Pacelli gets a foot on it, stumbling around the corner. Carter Payne, with some fancy footwork, trying to deke out two defenders, sends it straight into the back of Ryan Halloran, and it is a corner kick for Michigan.
Payne actually getting to use his feet for once right there.
It's a rarity. Mark Ibarra, who's looked much better on these corner kicks than Jack Hallahan, he has 6 assists and is leading the Big Ten.
We'll see what he can do here. The last one was well placed.
6 assists and no goals, actually. So he's a very assist-minded player. Jack Hallahan on the near side sends it over the box. He likes to take those long arching kicks. A shot by Mark Ibarra from outside the box gets cleared away by Detroit Mercy. Swike passes it in to the box again. Once again cleared away. The ball is out of play. Detroit Mercy's ball. Ryan Halloran hands the ball. Ryan Halloran will take the free throw. The throw in. Wrong sport. It's fine.
And right there on that corner kick, it looked like Christian Polesi was winding up to get his foot really through that ball. He might have been able to score from just about 8 or 10 yards away from the goal. Ultimately, though, Mercy's been too quick and clears it yet again and avoids the damage one more time. Mercy's throw-in isn't really going anywhere right now as both teams skirmish for control. Mercy finally does come down with the ball before ricocheting it off Carter Payne, setting up another Mercy throw-in.
Becker gives the ball to Halloran for another throw. Becker seemed instrumental. Detroit Mercy will make 2 substitutions. 29, who is Ryan Pearson, comes back into the game, as well as Muhammad Miri. Going out for Jake Reitzloff, who needs a rest, and Alex Vushaj. So that is two forwards coming out. If I'm reading this correctly, yes, 2 forwards coming out for 2 forwards, so nothing to really analyze on that.
Yep, looks like they're just getting fresh legs, and once again, in college soccer, you do have unlimited substitutions, so you can go in to bring guys out, let them rest, and maybe let them back in once they're ready to go, so nothing apparently super strategic going on there.
Having said that, I do believe you cannot substitute a player back in on the same half.
Okay, yep, yeah.
So those 2 are out unless this goes to overtime. So they, Jake Reitzloff, I am very impressed by his play today. He has not stopped running. And off the throw-in, Detroit Mercy, Max Becker gets a kick, but it sails wide. so Andrew Verdi will pass it to Abdu Samaki.
We'll see if the scoreboard operator calls that a shot. I don't think he's going to, but he did get his foot on the ball and deflected it near the goal. I think he was trying to possess it, though.
Fair. Austin Swike passes it back to Jackson Reagan, where Michigan will collect themselves to look forward for another attack. Samaki on the far sideline passes to Carter Payne, sends it flying. Christian Pacelli is not offsides, no one to beat but the goaltender, and the ball goes too far forward. He is unable to get a strong shot. Devin Mendez snaps it up and rolls it over to Kyle Bandick.
Michigan just did not have the numbers to do too much with that possession. Look at another one right here, though, as Mercy turns it over.
Jack Hallahan on the near sideline, where he seems to be playing as long as Harry Pethers is in the game. Detroit Mercy gets a foot on it, clears it to about halfway into Michigan's zone, where Austin Swike will take the throw-in.
The clock is beginning to tick now for Michigan. 24 and a half minutes to go. We're basically in the last quarter of the game now. Still no goals yet. They've only mustered 7 shots off. They've been clearly the dominant team, but have not had the offensive vision, I suppose, to get this go-ahead goal, as it looks like we're going to see Hallahan come off the pitch. Looks like Carter Payne also coming off. Number 13, Declan Gaffney comes in. And
Kevin Buka.
Yep, Kevin Buka, who is substituted at halftime, comes in now in relief for Hallahan.
So, with Hallahan off the field now, I'd have to imagine that they're looking for Kevin Buka and his speed to send them in for a goal. Kevin Buka with only 1 assist on the season to his stat line.
Ultimately, Michigan winds up back in possession, deep into their own half of the pitch, trying to work the ball back forward and a pass out wide to Pithers, who crosses the midline and trying to do some more damage, trying to use his speed to get around the corner, and doesn't have the ball, though, so it's going to roll out of bounds harmlessly, setting up another Mendez goal kick.
Not Hallahan, I'm sorry, I misspoke. Kevin Buka, looking to keep his hot streak going. His 1 assist was recorded in the last game. Win over Northwestern. He also is the smiles player on the team, according to the Michigan roster.
What is he officially measuring at?
I do not know.
Okay, it's the fun fact they're giving out.
Yep. His notable was team smallest player.
Okay, interesting. Not very surprising when you were seeing the team in action.
No.
Was hoping for maybe an exact height and weight, but I'll take their word for it.
Oh, I've got it. He is 5'5" and 140 pounds.
Okay, yeah, so definitely a lot of players have been trying to exploit the physical advantage they have on him, as both teams kind of exchange, knocking the ball in and out of bounds. Mercy finally sets up a throw-in that's promptly intercepted, and an ensuing Mercy foul is committed, trying to take over possession after quickly turning it over. Will be a Michigan ball right at the midline. Quickly playing it forward are the Wolverines, trying to find a gap in the Mercy defense, but they have 8 of their 10 field players committed back here on defense right now.
Tellez, who is usually a substitute, has played this entire game, looking for something to prove himself as a starter now. That could be something to watch now with Hallahan gone. The team is looking for someone to step up in the assists alongside Mark Ibarra. Devin Mendez will take this kick inside the small box.
Meets a Michigan head, though. Now Michigan back on the offensive. Sliding clearance, though, by Mercy. Puts the ball downfield, and it gives Mercy a chance to get away with this. A too heavy touch, though, puts the ball back toward a Michigan center back who clears this one and ultimately winds up Michigan's possession around the midline.
Tellez sends it out to Jackson Reagan, who gives it to Kevin Buka, using his speed to maneuver around some defenders. He throws it over to the far sideline, where Tellez gets the ball, trying to send it into the box. Not much fruit for his labors there.
And I don't think Buka was the intended recipient of that pass, but he kind of got in and disrupted the pass that I think was going for Tellez, maybe. ultimately ball ends up going out of bounds as Michigan wastes another chance near the 18-yard box, and Mercy will throw it in at the midline.
I do not believe Michigan has had any shots on goal or shots in general this half, as Christian Pacelli trips up one of the Detroit Mercy attackers. That is a free kick. Bandick has the ball, blowing past Kevin Buka, sends it towards the center of the box, but it sails to where no one is, and Austin Sweek can comfortably clear it. Max Becker sends it back into the box for Detroit Mercy. Kevin Buka trying to clear it off the head of Nebojsa Popovic. Detroit Mercy not letting up, though.
Michigan has just not been coordinated enough in their attacks to find a gap they can exploit in the Mercy defense. Every pass seems to just be a little bit too out of the comfort zone to set up a great shot. As they come charging down the pitch now, yet another one. A pass back to Buka's a bit too short, though, and cleared by a Mercy defender. Goes off Buka's knee and harmlessly back toward Mendez, who will take his time and set up a punt, letting that clock tick, 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 tick down to 19:12, 19:11, 19:10 to play in this one.
No one's staying close to receive the punt, as it goes almost all the way past all the Detroit Mercy players. But Austin Sweik finally manages to control it, sending it out to Harry Pithers on the far sideline.
Bad pass, though, from the Wolverines results in a Mercy takeaway, and we'll see if they can do anything with this one, only playing 2 strikers deep. They don't. Ball turned over, and Michigan back in possession.
Marky Barra passes it to the near side. Kevin Buka taken off of his feet, but nothing is called. The ref saying play on.
And Mercy gets the first shot on goal of the half. Their second shot of the half. First time being on goal as they take it away. And the midfield take a long shot that didn't have much chance of beating the Keeper Verdi, but give it a shot. You never know what could happen.
Andrew Verdi did not manage to control the shot immediately. If someone was closer, that could have been a very dangerous scenario, but he manages to wrap his hands around it.
As his punt goes off the head of Nebojsa Popovic and rolls out of bounds. Looks like we have a substitution.
Miri is coming off for Detroit Mercy.
Looks like that'll be Michigan's Polselli coming off.
For Derek Broach.
So Broach re-entering after getting pulled in the first half. Mercy just plays it in backward, and you're hearing some hollering from the Mercy attackers trying to demand where they want the ball.
Derek Broach rushed Devin Mendez, who was able to punt it away, already using those fresh legs. Abdou Samaki takes down Max Becker, so now there is a foul called.
So we'll have a Mercy free kick just behind the midline. They've woken up a bit offensively in these past few minutes.
I agree. It has looked like they're trying to make something happen, realizing this isn't conference play and a tie will do you nothing here.
No, it really might impress the committee just a little bit, but I imagine Mercy's playing in a one-bid league anyway.
Yeah, and with a record of 3-6-1,
3-6-1, they're not going to be an at-large. They got to win their conference to make the NCAA tournament.
Jackson Reagan with the ball closer to Michigan's box. Sends it over to Sweik, running down the far sideline, past 2 Detroit Mercy defenders. Sends it backwards to Pithers, who sends it into the box. A header! Derek Broach, off the header, finally gets it past Devin Mendez, celebrating in the corner with his teammates. The Michigan bench runs, surrounding him. Michigan has broken this deadlock, and unless Detroit Mercy can do something now, it appears with 16 minutes left in this game, Michigan could either try to park the bus and take this lead comfortably, or they can go for 2.
It was not a buzzer beater, but it was beginning to feel like Michigan needed something in soon. Finally, they're able to find Broach, who just came on after a timely and wise substitution by head coach Shaka Daly. gets that ball perfectly off his head into the back corner of the net and is met by a dog pile with his teammates, all in their blue pennies jumping on, knowing they might get to go home and be cozy in this one. Not gonna tie this one, barring a concession here, and not have to play overtime here on an October night in Ann Arbor. As Derek Broch's goal is announced over the intercom system here. Michigan boots the ball too far and into the hands of Mendez.
For if anyone's keeping score, Austin Swike and Harry Pithers were credited with the assists. That is Derek Broch's 4th goal of the season. Swike's first point of the season with the assist, and same with Harry Pithers. Both of those men had nothing to their name for this season scoring-wise, and now can say this year has gotten them something.
As Mendez punted the ball downfield, went off a Michigan defender, setting up a Mercy throw-in that is right now resulting in a lobbed pass into the 18-yard box. Ball's up in the air, headed away by Michigan. And
Kevin Buka got his head on that.
Yep, ball still not really possessed by anyone yet, and Mercy comes back with it on the far side, just north of the 18-yard box. A blast toward the corner, deflected timely by Verdi, and that's the save of the match, no doubt about that.
It looks like after that goal, Detroit Mercy has woken up and realized that they need to score.
What a shot there from Mercy. That one was a guided missile to the low corner, and Verdi got over there in a hurry, knocking that one behind the end line and setting up a Mercy corner kick.
Andrew Verdi was not the expected starter this season. Michigan's goalie last season dropped out at the beginning here. So Andrew Verdi, who did not think he would start.
As Michigan survives a nail-biter right there, ball bouncing all over the place now, finally off a Mercy head, out of bounds, and Michigan survives a close scare.
Andrew Verdi finally going to be able to give it a goal kick and send it out of the zone. As I was saying, Andrew Verdi, who has the lowest goal against average, thanks to this impressive Michigan defense and his quick thinking in the entire Big Ten.
Off that corner kick, Mercy had a header that would look like it was going to score. There were 3 Michigan defenders in the area, though. Couldn't catch whose leg it went off of, but one of them saved a goal right there. Probably not intentionally. This was in the right spot at the right time, preventing the equalizer from going through.
Jackson Reagan now sending it back to Abdou Samaki. The normal way of regathering themselves, regrouping as Michigan looks for another attack.
So Michigan got their one shot on goal this half, and it was good. Scored the go-ahead goal now.
Nebojsa Popovic, no one to be but the goalie, and he misses just wide on the near side. He looks upset with himself.
Yeah, he's going to want that one back. When you have a clear lane to the goal, you have to put it on net. No excuses about that. He was running. It was a quick decision, quick fire, but he's close enough. No one in his way. Have to at least challenge the keeper on that one.
The Big Ten's top goal scorer still looking to do something this half for him. Harry Pithers sends the ball up into the air right to Detroit Mercy defenders. Ryan Halloran able to send it out, but the ball lands back in Kevin Buka's feet. Kevin Buka sending it to Swike on the far sideline. A pass threading the needle between 2 Detroit Mercy defenders to Derek Broch. He sends it right back. And now the ball is with Declan Gaffney on the near side, passing it to Kevin Buka, who has no one to beat but the goalie again. And he tries to pass instead of shoot. Detroit Mercy gets some feet on it and is able to clear.
Buka brought out all the oohs and ahs right there, as you probably heard the fans really making their presence felt there. Buka made a phenomenal move to beat the defender, but then his pass was picked off right away.
Something noticeable about the Michigan pitch in Ann Arbor is that it causes a lot of people to slide. This seems like a very slippery pitch in any sort of weather.
Yeah, it's been a very dry day. No wetness at all to possibly cause the slipping, but still, we just saw Mercy dribbler go to the ground.
We saw 2 earlier in the game by the now Michigan goal box.
So just 12 minutes to play in this one right now. Michigan nursing a 1-0 lead, trying to build on it, but that through ball is just a bit too much on it and picked up right at the edge of the 18-yard box by Mendez.
Derek Broch making a run to try to get it over, but Devin Mendez is too quick for him.
Yep, certainly challenged, and we've seen Mendez make some errors when a Michigan attacker is in the area, forcing him to think too quickly.
Harry Pithers sends that out of bounds about the half line. On the far side, Detroit Mercy. Justin Schoenemann throws it in to another Detroit Mercy forward who sends it to Kyle Bandick all alone for his team. Sends it back over across the entire box, but Harry Pithers was able to get ahead on it, breaking up any action that could have happened. Harry Pithers now with the ball, dribbling up towards midfield. Tries to pass to Derek Broche, but it's intercepted by Detroit Mercy. Joel Van Hook, who has played the entire game for Detroit Mercy, with the ball now, passing it to Max Becker on the far sideline. Now it's in the control of Schooneman, sending into the box, and there is no foul on the play. What happened was, it looks like Kavanaugh got hit in the back by Jackson Reagan. He fell forwards. Reagan must have either gotten the ball or had been called incidental contact because the refs let him play on. Now inside the box, Meary has the ball for Detroit Mercy. He has rolled outside to the near sideline, sending it back to Bandick. Tries to get something going, but it's cleared by Michigan. Neboja Popovich tries to go forward. Unable to. Stoppage on the play.
Yeah, the Michigan defender is down all the way back in the 18-yard box.
It appears to be Abdou Samaki, injured. He is on his back. He's bending his knees and appears to be in a considerable deal of pain. The clock is stopped here. In college soccer, the clock counts downwards from 45 and stops at all moments like this, so there's no penalty time. We have 10 minutes and 18 seconds in the game left. Michigan with 2 shots on goal this half, one of them being a goal. And Detroit Mercy with, I think that's 4 shots for them now.
5, I believe, this
5.
half. They entered with 3, so they've nearly tied it up. It's 9-8 right now as it stands. And Mercy, I think they're going to regret playing the way they did to start the game, because once they've tried to become the aggressor, it's gone well for them. They've gotten good looks. They've really scared Michigan here with just 10 minutes to go. I think they're going to regret not being more aggressive to start the game, and they're right now found themselves in a 1-0 hole. I think if they played this way all game, they could be up right now.
I agree, this seems like a very talented young team. Most of the starters have been sophomores and juniors and some freshmen as backups. I think that when Detroit Mercy rolls back into town next year for their annual game, we will be seeing a much improved team.
Yeah, it is a young team, and as I mentioned in the first half, it's basically all local talent. Looking at the roster, basically everyone is from a Michigan town, a couple of Ohio's, and then one Ontario. So all states and provinces that border Michigan.
We've also got a Delaware player, Jackson Blackwell, who is a redshirt sophomore. Nope, just a regular sophomore.
Where's that? I can't find Delaware on that.
18.
Okay, yeah, Delaware indeed. Wilmington, Delaware. All right, so getting some East Coast representation there, I suppose. That's an interesting location, but Mercy, I don't think is really a program that recruits nationally in any sport. But
University of Michigan has a much more well-traveled team.
Yeah, you can
with,
say that again.
Pennsylvania, Arizona, New Jersey, 3 separate provinces of Canada, Chile, 2 players from Ghana.
What's the third province? Oh, Montreal. Yep. Okay, I see BC, Montreal, and Ontario. Cincinnati, Ohio, an enemy territory a bit. You see represented there.
Toms River, New Jersey.
Yep, all over the place. Seattle, Washington is the home of Jackson Reagan.
Abdou Samaki able to come off the field on his own accord. Coming in for him is Joel Harrison, both of them defenders. Joel Harrison has, I believe, slightly more playing time than Abdou Samaki and has been a substitute this year.
And not only both defenders, but countrymen as well. One Canuck coming in for another, Harrison from Langley, British Columbia.
Neboja Popovich now, as action gets started with the ball, passing it to Kevin Buka on the near sideline. It looks like Joel Van Hook for Detroit Mercy tried to clear it, bounced off Kevin Buka, and now Van Hook will get a throw-in.
And we've just crossed the 10-minute mark, so we'll see if that picks up the pace for either team, as they've both been more aggressive here.
Kevin Buka, pass to Derek Broche, all alone, just having to be Devin Mendez. He slows down, and a defender's able to catch up to him. Jack Halloran is the defender who gets a blocked shot. Neboja Popovich passes as it goes back into the box. Detroit Mercy is able to clear it. Now with Dimitri Pliakos on the ball, He tries to clear it to Ryan Pearson, but is unable to do so. Now the ball is flying through the air. Finally is settled as Detroit Mercy tries to get something going. Austin Swike able to control it, but he gives it away right back to Pearson. Pearson enters the box, cleared away by Michigan defense. And the ball is sailed through the air. Halloran is running forward against Derek Broche, and Halloran will let it go out of bounds. And now he will throw it back in.
And I think Broche is going to regret not just hurrying up and getting a shot off earlier in that possession where he nearly scored. Had a one-on-one opportunity with the goalie, slowed down and let two defenders get in his way.
Bandic will send it to apparently no one on his team, as Michigan will clear it. Derek Broche running again against Van Hook. It appears that Derek Broche is just outmatched in speed against the two Detroit Mercy defenders here.
Every second Michigan can maintain possession, though, is a good one, as there's still 8 minutes to play in this one, trying to milk the clock and escape with the regulation victory. As a Mercy defender just boots the ball downfield and will be easily handled by Verdi, who I'm sure will take his time getting rid of this one.
Absolutely, waiting to the last possible second before Pearson can get any foot on the ball, trying to take as much time as possible, let these last 8 minutes tick down. Verdi with a punt, sending it past the half line, falling straight to Justin Murray of Detroit Mercy, who will head it out of bounds about halfway between the goal line and the half line on Michigan's zone, or the Michigan's defensive zone.
Will be a throw in here from, can't quite read the number, right beneath the stands.
Declan Gaffney throws it in. Nebojsa Popovich playing a physical game against Joel Van Hook, but it appears Detroit Mercy is the ones with the ball. Van Hook passing it to Pliakos, down to Becker, and now they've crossed halfway and have sent the ball from the near sideline to the far sideline. Attempt to get the ball right back to the near sideline has been intercepted by Michigan. Nebojsa Popovich sending the ball expertly straight to the feet of Harry Pithers on the far side towards the half line. Mark Ibarra sending it to Harry Pithers, who is near the goal, now in the goal box. Shot deflected off the fist of Devin Murray. Sorry, I misspoke. Devin Mendez, and a foul as Tellez grabs the jersey.
That'll be a booking.
Absolutely.
Yeah, grab the jersey and grab the arm.
And brings Kyle Bandyke to the field.
Yep, that one had to be called. You saw them basically tugging at each other. Van Dyke trying to get Tellez off of him. Obvious booking, and Tellez will get the yellow card in this one with just 6:40 to play.
As the fans say, showed him the maze.
Yeah, fitting, I guess, for a Michigan player.
Yep. Devin Mendez sending the ball towards the box for Michigan as players are jockeying for position. It appears Alex Bouchage is back in the game, and he has the ball towards the far corner, sending it into the box, and it's cleared away by a header from Declan Gaffney. But it falls to the feet of Max Becker, who tries to get a shot off. It is blocked. Kevin Buka now running with the ball on the near sideline, sending a long pass to no one, just clearing it, and trying to kill more time. We have now 6 minutes remaining. 6 minutes for Michigan to hold on to the game.
Mercy played it forward, but that's going to roll out of bounds harmlessly, so another Michigan throw-in as they just have 5:52 to burn in this one.
Austin Swike taking his time, trying to find the correct spot. Now Michigan is a stickler for where the throw-in is, as the time continues to count down. Christian Pacelli going in for Derek Broche. He had a short time on the field, but an effective one with that, giving Michigan their one goal and the lead.
Throw-in ultimately ends up in Mercy's possession. They've got a chance here. Running around the corner, tries to cross into the 18-yard box. A sliding Michigan defender knocks the ball away, and the ball is headed out of the 18-yard box, but kept in bounds by a Mercy midfielder. His pass is ultimately intercepted, though, by Michigan, and now Tellez will try to bring the ball downfield and escape a Mercy goal-scoring opportunity.
DeClan Gaffney clears it to Detroit Mercy, who is playing on the near sideline. They've crossed midfield, and Michigan's turn to clear it now. Also, Jake Poorman, the junior from Brighton, Michigan, is now in the game for Justin Schoeneman for Detroit Mercy. DeClan Gaffney with another throw-in from just past the wrong side of the half line.
4:36 now to play in this one. 1-0 Michigan leads.
Lobbing it over, Van Hook gets a foot on it, sending it to Detroit Mercy. Cleared away by DeClan Gaffney. Back into the hands of Devin Mendez. Christian Pacelli not rushing for it like the man he replaced, Derek Broach. But I think he's content to take his time as now there's 4:15 left on the clock. Mark Ibarra trying to get ahead on the punt, didn't work. As now Poorman, the new fresh substitute, getting double teamed by Michigan. Michigan wins that encounter, and Kevin Buka sprinting up the near sideline. A long pass. Van Hook gets a foot on it, passing it to his goalie, Devin Mendez. Pacelli trying to get something working, but Mendez merely passes it away to Ryan Halloran to start something new. Harry Pithers sending the ball up and out of bounds. Detroit Mercy ball. A throw-in from Ryan Halloran halfway between the goal line and the midfield.
Michigan just asked for a handball there, and I think they got it. They did, so that Mercy inbounding goes for nothing as they were determined to have to have met the ball with their hand, and Michigan escapes that opportunity. Now 3:15 to go. Michigan free kick upcoming.
Joel Harrison, one of the captains of this team, dropping the ball and letting Austin Swike take it. It appears, interestingly enough, Umar Farouk Osman, the third captain for Michigan, has not made any appearance in this game whatsoever, nor has his countryman Mohamed Zaki. Both of them are usual starters.
As Michigan's free kick just gets rejected right back by Mercy and will be a throw-in now from the near sideline.
DeClan Gaffney throwing it in. Justin Murray gets a head on it, trying to clear it. Max Becker loses the ball to Tellez. Tellez, now it's 3-on-4. Harry Pithers with a shot just off Devin Mendez's right hand. Detroit Mercy is able to clear it out of bounds. Christian Pacelli was there for a rebound if Joel Van Hook wasn't able to get his foot on it and send it away.
Tellez had numbers, and he had multiple options to do with that ball. Ultimately, I think he thought a bit too slowly. If this were a tied game or a game where Michigan was trailing, I think he might have been more aggressive there and scored a goal. It's playing a bit too slow here as Michigan's trying to kill the clock.
A throw-in from DeClan Gaffney is imminent now. He sends it into the box. Christian Pacelli in the corner, being double-teamed by two Detroit Mercy defenders who managed to take the ball from him. Becker sends it out, but DeClan Gaffney is able to head it back towards Michigan's way. Kevin Buka centers it, and Harry Pithers is not able to get a foot on the ball. An opportunity wasted with 1.5 minutes left.
And that gives Mercy a chance to reverse field here. Ultimately, the pass is errant, though, and rejected by Michigan.
Pearson looks like he was trying to make something happen, going too far towards the center, allowing Joel Harrison to sneak his way towards the ball and clear it. Devin Mendez looking rushed now, 1 minute and 15 seconds left. It's in the box, but Andrew Verity tells his defenders to back off. He lets the ball down as far as possible. Finally, with 1 minute left, he picks it up, slowly walking and letting his defenders and to push forward and his wingers to get into position. 50 seconds on the clock now. The punt sails far past almost every Michigan player. Christian Pacelli trying to get ahead on it. Doesn't work. Nebojsa Popovich, 23 and 33, look very similar from this height. Christian Pacelli dribbles the ball out past the corner, managed to keep it in for a throw instead of a goal kick. Very intelligent, some great awareness of his space there. I'm mistaken, it's actually a Michigan throw-in. It looks like a Detroit Mercy defender's gotten a foot on the ball. And here with 15 seconds left, Michigan looks like they'll just end it off as the fans count it down. 9 seconds remain. And the final whistle blows off a goal by Derek Broach, assist from Harry Pithers and Austin Swike. Your University of Michigan Wolverines have defeated Detroit Mercy a score of 1-0 in regulation time.
And that'll do it for Michigan. They improved to 6-2-3 on the season. Not a conference game, but nonetheless, they're still second in the conference, looking to host a couple of games here in Ann Arbor for the postseason tournament. So far, a pretty good start to the season. Michigan had a couple of hiccups, dropped 2 games early, including one to number 3 in the country, Akron, in the early non-con slate. But they've been great since the beginning of September, undefeated in the September and October months. We'll see how much longer they can keep that up.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for tuning in to us, if you have been here the whole time. Once again, a happy Leif Erikson Day and a happy Yom Kippur. The days of all are now over.
Yep, thank you all for tuning in, and we wish you, as always, a good day and a go blue.